When you're talking to online people, the microphone is from the camera.
Ah, okay. So
I'm
that's
going
the
to turn
camera.
the camera around. I'm going to lower it to your height so it's perfect.
Check 1, 2. All right.
Yes, this is for conversation. So this is a really shitty mic, so you
Yeah.
really have to be right here.
Okay.
You right here? I like this. I don't know.
Yeah, and you turn it off whenever you want. So if you don't do that, it's like This is how we do. All right. Is everybody ready for some comedy? I can see you. I can feel you breathing. Oh, slips. Here we go. Yeah, it's Sunday. It's Sunday. That means we are doing Sunday Slips. Sunday Slips is an open stage that has been running for 7 years in Berlin. I like to run it in a New York City style, which means show up to sign up, don't fucking message me. Yay. I know. I try to be nicer. I'm trying to learn about that. But unfortunately, I don't like the internet very much. And now that there's been a pandemic, I have to be online all the time. Am I in camera? Am I out of camera? You gotta tell me, buddy.
I will just
Be my fabulous friend. Yes, make me look good. So during the lockdown, we started to live stream our show because it was the only way that we could continue with our reputation of show up, sign up, don't fucking message me. Why? Because it's every Sunday, no matter what. That's right. Every Sunday, no matter what. Good, we got some regulars in the house. Now, I did that on purpose because I didn't like social media. I was like, what? Word of mouth is going to make it work. It's been 7 years, and now when I think about every Sunday, I'm like, oh, no matter what. So it became a demon. I'm very happy, though, that we are able to provide this for people. There are a few rules to our open mic. Hello, people online. Thank you so much. Because we do live stream it and we have our own recordings, we are able to ask you not to use your phones during the time that you're here. We want you to watch the show in person. We want you to be attentive through the pupils that you have, not through a third eye, which is not my favorite one. So, make sure that you have your phones on vibrate. It would be a great time that you turn off your ringer. If you like to multitask, make sure you're sitting on your phones as they vibrate as well. It's my favorite thing to have a phone. Now, another rule we have is that the energy that the comedians are giving to us is also the energy that we're receiving from you. So be generous and kind and uplifting to the people who are taking a risk being vulnerable on stage. They're taking a risk. Some of them are amateurs, some of them are professionals. This is a non-discriminatory mic. We pretty much allow whoever it is to get on stage. As long as you show up to sign up. Don't fucking message me. And for that reason, we do also request that you read the room, understand an audience. If there is an audience member who has a problem with your material, have the compassion and empathy to listen to them and take that knowledge and do whatever you want with it at home. But we all decide what we like. We all decide who we are, who we represent. This is an open mic. This is a stage with a public audience that is here from very diverse cultures. So I welcome compassion and empathy after your sets with whoever you need to talk to. And if not, I will be the third person there to help you handle it. And I hope you have a safe word. Thank you. Every performer will get approximately 5 to 8 minutes. I will light you with my phone. That means you have 1 minute left to wrap it up, put it together, put a nice bow on it, and get the fuck off the stage. Come back next week if you need more time. We love you. And musicians, you will be getting 2 songs. The audience decides on a 3rd song. Again, that makes an equivalent amount of time of 5 to 8 minutes. So please be respectful of that by not having extremely long introductions about your song that are basically telling us the entire lyrics of your song before you sing your song. We love you. No, we don't.
No, we don't. No.
Titties!
Free nipple.
Free the nipple! Isn't it incredible?
Yeah.
Why is there a war against female nipples?
I don't know. We all suck at them.
I want to draw everybody's attention to my co-host this evening on the dashboard, handling our online presence. That's right. Our online presence. Nico?
Hi, everybody.
How's everybody doing?
Yeah. If you shout, pull the mic away.
Pull the mic away.
If you don't shout, bring it close. That's what we're here for. Showing people how to put something phallic in the other way. So I'm going to work out a little something special for you today to open up the show, and I normally do not work with notes, but I'm trying to memorize something from Morgan. I'm Miguel Velasquez, and welcome to Sunday Steps. Danke, Sunday Steps. Danke, Liliana. Ich bin eine kolumbianische Amerikanerin in Berlin. Yeah, I'm going to do this all auf Deutsch. Ich bin vor der Liebe nach Berlin gekommen. Ja, aber ich muss euch sagen, mit einem deutschen Mann zusammen zu sein, ist noch einsamer als Single zu sein. Dating a German is lonelier than being single. Christoph, mein letzter deutscher Freund. Oh, mein Gott! Ich wusste nicht, dass du so viel Attention brauchst. Wirklich. Du bist mit einer tätowierten Tanzgott tanzenden Latina Domina, die Stand-up-Comedy in 3 Sprachen macht. Zusammen. Was hast du denn gedacht? Jetzt bin ich Single und mit 43 das erste Mal auf einer Dating-App. Wir leben in einer Pandemie und ich habe mit Online-Dating angefangen. Living on limit. I'm living on the edge. Als Domina, was ist es gewohnt, dass mit Online-Dating ich Geld verdiene. Jetzt zahle ich dafür von 39 anderen auf einer Dating-App zu sein. Damals wollte ich safe, sane and consensual. Jetzt ist genug geimpft, genesen und getestet. Ich verliere Geld mit jedem Swipe. Jetzt bin ich pleite und immer noch Single. Yay! Also, masturbiere ich. Ich bin eine Frau, die gerne masturbiert. Nicht so ohne einen Orgasmus zu haben, aber sondern für Self-Care. Self-Care, Self-Care. Also, wenn ich diese 2 Finger meine Klitoris berühren, I feel safe and secure, and everything is going to be okay in the world. Aber mittlerweile masturbiere ich nicht mehr, um einen Orgasmus zu haben. Ich masturbiere zu mich totten. Ja, das ist, was Deutschland hat auf mir gemacht. Genau. All right, guys, are you ready for somebody else coming up on the stage? Woo! Put your hands together, please. Stefan Lauber!
Sorry, I'm not a dancer, but sometimes when I'm.
It's on camera.
Nice. Yeah, hello everybody. Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, I am German, a German kind of comedian. I'm speaking a little bit English, starting speaking English today, and I'm even the one, still the one who came all the way from outside of Ringbahn. Not so far. 4,444 meters and 19 centimeters. I'm German, I have to be precise. Anyway, you can hear that my English is not perfect. I speak a kind of comedy English. Yeah? But recently I joined a course, maybe a course which was a course, English for business. Yeah. And I find out so English for business is not as funny as comedy English. No. But I learned something very essential. I am not broke. I'm bankrupt. And I was not easily fired by the boss. I was dismissed by the executive board. I pronounced it wrong, executive board, because they almost executed me. It was a German company, by the way. But I still learned English, and recently I was sitting in the living room practicing English words, and I asked myself, Why is the living room called living room? Because there's obvious no life in the living room. The living room is often empty over the day and the night, or maybe two people sitting lazy around in the evening, watching TV, looking at smartphones. This looks not very like to me what's usually going on in the living room. Okay, you can say that the living room is also called sitting room, because flatmates and family members might sit there. But sitting and living is not quite the same. Or you have two children, or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 or 7 in a too small flat. Then the living room turns into a real living room. They're screaming and shouting and cutleries and electronic devices flying through the air. But this is a living room which is dangerous, which might kill the parents. Or you live at home, or you are single. You live at home, alone at home in your own living room. Then the living room turns into kind of waiting room. Waiting that something's still gonna happen in your boring life while you're looking at social media. If life is for living only in the living room, then it feels like a kind of prison to me. Not to mention that some people even die in the living room, or becoming sick or obese. On the other hand, I never saw a mother giving birth in the living room. Of course not. But a new life would suit the living room fine. Most of the time it's only old life. Anyway, after all, if you want to live, I urgently recommend leave the living room. For a start, go in the bathroom. Or go in the kitchen. There's a reason why often people chat in kitchens when parties. And if you find someone to chat in the kitchen, leave the house. Go away, run away, go for a walk, go for a tour. The pandemic is almost over. Go in the pub, in the club, join this show. Yeah, I can see you already did. There's hope for us. We all live the living room today. Yoo-hoo, this was this one. Yeah. Sorry for everybody watching this in the living room. So, a short one, something really silly things. It struck me that famous football players or male models or something, they often have tattoos, one arm full of tattoos and the other arm without tattoos. Why this kind of thought, why this kind of style? You can compare. Remember, so this looks with tattoos and this looks without tattoos. Interesting. Or maybe I'm a football player. I'm a football player. I have foot and legs. But I also have an arm. You can see it on my tattoo. Oh, the ball is coming. Sorry, I was looking at my tattoo. I was trying this out. I finished with a short trick poem, of Deutsch. Der Apfel fällt nicht weit vom Ast, nicht weit vom Stammtisch fällt ein Gast. Er fiel zwar hart, doch nicht sehr weit. Der Stammtisch war sofort zur Hilfe bereit. Wieso denn das? Na, ist doch klar, weil der Gefallene selbst ein Stammgast war. Und ich bin Steffen Blaubach. Mein Name ist Steffen Blaubach. Thank you so much.
Give it up for Steffen Blaubach! Hi, everybody. We are back. That's right. You'll notice I have my own microphone because if it goes near my face or my pussy, I like to bring my own. So don't touch my mic. Yes. What was I going to say? Tattoos. Tattoos. How many people have tattoos here tonight? What do you have, sir?
Ones I don't do.
No, it depends on how long your list is. What do you have? Tell me the first thing that I see there. That one. A chili pepper. I know. Someone needs to buy a raffle ticket. Sir, you are in luck. Thanks to you, we get to remind all of the fabulous people here at Sunday Slips that Sunday Slips is sponsored by Crazy Bastard Sauce. You know Crazy Bastard Sauce? Well, for a €2 ticket, you can enter a raffle to win 3 sauces tonight. That's right. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Plus, it goes to support our show. And those of you online, we appreciate that you've sent us donations before and entering the raffle as well by doing that. So don't stop sending us money. We love it. I especially do. It's not an OnlyFans yet. You get 5 minutes. Yeah, I got tattoos, and I started getting tattoos the moment I turned 18, like the day, the hour, like it's 1:10 in the afternoon, I'm 18 years old, I gotta get a tattoo, you know, and life had it where all of a sudden I went from having one tattoo to managing a tattoo shop, and that wasn't my plan, it just ended up that way, and I remember being at the tattoo shop, and every day I would shop at the tattoo shop, and people would be like, by people I mean the people who work there, they would be like, yo, I designed this for you. It's your entire back, your ass, and your whole entire legs. You know, I just drew it last night. And I was like, oh, no. And the next day I would come back, and the tattoo artist would be like, last night I had a dream. Your whole arm, it was waterfalls and dolphins. And I was like, no. And they kept doing this all the time. They're like, Liliana, why do you not get tattooed by us when you have 2 shitty tattoos and you're the front floor girl for a tattoo shop? And I was like, look, guys, before I had this job, I managed a hair salon. And I went from having hair down to here to being bald. So I think I'll take my time. Eventually, I did get tattooed and more tattooed and more tattooed. And as time went by, my mother was always really, really upset. I mean, the first tattoo I ever got, I came home in Colombia. I was 18. I was covered up. And my mother looked at me and she said, take the sweater off. It's 45 degrees outside. So I took the sweater off and she was like looking at my tattoo and she said, Liliana, what is it? Because I was an artist, I thought I would design my own tattoo as my first tattoo. So it never looked like what it was supposed to be. It just looked like a blah on the back of my back. And I was like, Mama, por Dios, it's a butterfly sideways. Butterfly sideways. My mother, as any typical traditional Colombian woman would do, immediately began to cry. Santa María Madre de Dios, por mis pecados por mi culpa, por mi culpa. Liliana, why? I don't understand why. Liliana Velázquez Montoya. Why can't you be like normal girls and get tattoos instead? Get titties instead of tattoos. It's been a long time. But that was a real sentence my mom actually said. I made a joke out of the truth. My mom looked at me and said, why can't you be like normal girls and get fake tits instead of tattoos? Damn. That's what it's like growing up Colombian. But we have somebody coming from a completely different culture than me. I don't know if they make fake titties as popular in his land as they do in my land, but we will soon find out depending on what they give us in their next 5 minutes. Are you ready for our next performer? Put your action. Let me feel it.
Hey guys. Hi. So let me introduce myself.
You don't want you to feel left out.
My name is Hisham. I'm from Libya. Libya is an Arab country in North Africa that's had civil war for more than 10 years now. We were actually voted the 3rd most dangerous country to visit, and Tripoli, the capital where I'm from, was voted the 2nd worst city to live in. I'm not even gonna lie, I'm actually very proud of that. Makes me feel like I'm hard, you know, like I'm gangsta. That's not completely true though, because the first time I ever watched The Exorcist, I was so terrified that I actually peed my pants a little bit. And that was 2 weeks ago. It's like maybe not Tupac level of gangsta, but at least DJ Khaled level of gangsta. What you also have to understand about Libya is that it's a very, very conservative country. Yeah? No fake titties allowed. The biggest example of this would just be like sex in general. See, in Libya, you can't have sex outside of marriage. You can't watch porn online. It's completely blocked. Women dress in a very conservative fashion. You know, they cover themselves up and stuff. So imagine my fucking surprise when I first landed in Berlin 5 years ago. I was 18 years old, and sex is fucking everywhere. Like the advertisement on the streets, the billboards, the sex shops. You can watch porn online. That was a very nice surprise. First day I was here, man, I went fucking mental. I found myself jerking off at the H&M billboards on the streets. I looked to the side of me. There was this guy from Saudi Arabia who was doing the exact same thing. I looked at him, I was like, first day in Berlin? He was like, yeah. One thing that I wasn't prepared for as an Arab going to the Western world was going through airport security. Because there was this one time, I went to Budapest with a couple of friends, you know. And they were all like a bunch of white Europeans. I was the only brown one there. So they'll go through security just fine. But when it comes to me, the guy looks at me, he sees I'm brown, checks my passport, says I'm from Libya, and he's like, sir, can you please come to the right here? And he gives me like a full body inspection search, you know? And I felt like I was being kind of violated actually. And I could tell, that felt like really good. But like, I guess I explored myself a little bit that day, yeah? Berlin is a great place to do that, to explore yourself. I've done quite a lot of that. I reached a point where I don't even believe in God anymore. I don't believe in Allah. But I can't tell my parents that, right? Because like me telling my Libyan parents, I don't believe in Allah, would pretty much be the exact same thing like Donald Trump's son telling him he does believe in Allah. But like, it's not just a great place to explore yourself. You get to explore all kinds of different people, right? Because like Berlin is such an international city with people from like all over the world, with different ideologies and beliefs. And I find it very interesting. But the ones that intrigue me the most are actually the vegans. See, I could never like imagine being a vegan. That's such a foreign concept to me. Because like Libya would totally disown me at that point, right? If I ever become vegan. Because like even if you don't believe in God, in every country there's like a few liberal progressives who don't believe that, it's fine. But like straight up not eating meat, man, that's like as white as it fucking gets, you know? And like if you live in Berlin, you're eventually gonna meet vegans who try to convert you. And they always use the same two arguments, yeah? It's always the same two arguments. The first one's the animal rights arguments. Like you shouldn't eat animals because you know they have rights too, you know? They have feelings. And my response to that is, dude, I'm from Libya. Like we barely understand the concept of human rights. Animal rights is just like a bit too advanced for us, you know? It's like coming to a Libyan and talking about animal rights is the same as coming to him and talking about rocket science. It's a very nice idea. It's just like, who the fuck cares? But the second argument they use, I actually think has some legs to stand on. And that's the argument that well, you shouldn't eat meat because meat is bad for you. Like you'd be healthier off if you didn't have meat in your diet. Now I don't know if that's true or not, I'm not a doctor. But it made me think. Now I don't do that very often, so you know it's serious. But actually I came to the conclusion that if I stop eating meat for that reason, because it's bad for me, that would actually make me a hypocrite. Yeah. Because like in comparison to all the drugs I inject in my body, meat's like the least of my fucking concerns. Because like you'd come to me one week and you'd be like, hey man, you want to get shit-faced drunk? I'd be like, yeah. Then I'll come to me the week after that and you'd be like, hey man, you want to go to a sex club, do some MDMA? I'd be like, yeah. Then come to me the week after that and you'd be like, you want to go to a park, smoke a joint, drop some acid, look at the stars? I'd be like, fuck yeah. Then he'll come to me the week after that, and he'd be like, hey man, you want to grab a steak for dinner tonight? I'll be like, no man, that shit's bad for me. Alright guys, that's my dog. Moving up
Yeah. Yeah, give it up for Tom. Did I say that right? All right. Yeah. Woo, let's get moving right along. Our next performer, you know him well. He's a big part of Sunday Sleeps family since forever. Thank you. Thank you so much. I've been not knowing what was wrong. Winston Kelly Stevenson is in the house, helping out with our sound and making some beautiful tunes later on tonight. So tune in for those of you watching at home. We got Winston Kelly Stevenson in the house. Woo! Yeah, You know him well. He's part of the Sunday Schools family. Put your snaps together, your drinks in the air, and your hands clapping. Make it loud in here. Make it roar. I don't hear you. I don't feel you. I want it
So, can everybody hear me okay? Can you hear in the back? All right, good. Tonight I'm going to tell a story that was part of one of my Edinburgh friendships, but I haven't told this story in about 3 years, so hopefully I won't forget it. Well, I've got it written down here. That's why this. Anyway, so I call this story "The Man Upstairs," and it takes place. When I used to live in Poland. I lived in Warsaw, Poland for a long time. So the story takes place in Warsaw in the 90s. Is anybody in here Polish or lived in Poland or speak Polish at all? No. All right, that's fine. So now in English, the phrase "the man upstairs" is a euphemism for God, right, in English. In this case, the man upstairs refers to the man who lived in the apartment directly above me in this building in Warsaw. He was definitely not God, but he kind of thought he was, as we'll find out. So apparently the man upstairs, the man who lived above me, had been renovating his apartment for 9 years, which was very typical at the time. And the previous occupant of my apartment had died, apparently they said of natural causes, although I don't know, as we'll find out here in a minute. But he was renovating that apartment constantly. Bang, bang, bang. Home was not rebuilt in a day. And on the most spectacular of such occasion, he tried to pound a hole in the floor of his kitchen with a sledgehammer. At least that's what it sounded like. The whole building was shaking. Boom, boom, boom. New Zealand, here we come. So you can probably see where this is going. And in due course, I came home from work and found that about half of my very thick, heavy plaster kitchen ceiling was lying on the floor in the kitchen. Having given up in its effort to find peace on this earth, apparently. So I stormed up the stairs, appeared the Dupek in his den. Dupek is a Polish word for asshole. And I said, well, you finally succeeded. Half of the ceiling is on my kitchen floor now. And he said, right, yeah. I said, well, come on down and look. It's all there. So he swaggered down the stairs, sporting one of those omniscient commie grins that were apparently chiseled into the face of every cement head in Central Europe during communist times. He always knows better. Until he looked at the kitchen and saw that I had accurately described it, and then he grabbed his head like this and yelled out, "Kurczak, kurczak!" Now, kurczak is a mild expletive that literally it translates as chicken, but it actually comes from another word that I won't go into. What he was saying is, oh, fuck me, is pretty much the way you would translate that. And he says, don't worry, well, I'll fix it. I said, well, I'm less concerned about that than I am about cleaning up this enormous mess. He says, I'll send my wife down to clean it up. It's Poland. So, and he swaggered back upstairs. First thing you know, his wife comes down. Now, you have to bear in mind that both of these people are like in their 70s at this point. So, she was just shaking and quivering and sweat pouring off her. More kurczak. So I told her to stop, don't bother. I didn't want her to drop dead on the kitchen floor because, I had enough excitement for one day. I said, wait till tomorrow. So she went back upstairs. At this point, I called the landlady and explained what had happened. And she said, well, can we come over tomorrow and look at it? And I said, yeah, it'll still be there, but it really is a big mess. She says, okay. We hung up. A few minutes later, she called back and said, my husband and I are coming over to look at it. And we want to see just how big of a mess it is. And I said, well, that's fine. Now, here's the thing. In Poland, exaggerating is considered a horrible social faux pas. I mean, whereas Americans, of course, exaggerate for effect all the time. We'll say, if I told you once, I told you 100 times. No, that's not really, everybody knows that's not true. I told you twice, maybe, or something. But they take it literally. And if you're in a discussion like that with a Polish and they're not paying attention, then you up it to 1,000 times, and up it to 1,000,000 times. At that point, they throw their hands up in the air and walk off. They wouldn't even talk to you. So anyway, she thought I was exaggerating. So they arrived, looked at the kitchen, kurcha, more kurcha. So we cleaned the thing up as best we could that night. Anyway, so the next step, of course, was to determine who's to blame for all of this. We always have to ascertain who's at fault. Now, at this point, it's important to note that the man upstairs was also the president of the Building Cooperative Association. So we can see where this one is probably headed. And he assembled a group of the usual hot and cold running sycophants to inspect the premises and render an opinion on it. And the guy was really in his element, just rocking back and forth, smirking. So after about 20 minutes of this, he said, look, we're going to render an opinion in writing in 1 week. So I thought, okay, I'm really going to hold my breath for this one. So 1 week came and a letter arrived that said, first of all, the president was off the hook. They blamed the whole thing on the building. The letter literally said, the building is guilty. And so, so in effect, the landlady had to pay for the repairs, and it all got fixed eventually. But I told the people in the office there I was working, and they said they agreed that the building was guilty. And then just shrugged and went back to work. So I figured, well, they're probably thinking just another typical exaggerating American. Kurcha! Thank you very much.
Yeah. And now I gotta remember, like, to press the jingle, to put on my mask, to grab a drink, to go down, to like a person. This is multitasking. I'm a juggler. I'm a juggler of objects nobody cares about. I'm a juggler of time. And I'm going to move it along to a poetry segment that we're having this evening, or something poetic, something strange, something different. And please put your snaps together, put your hands together for Zach.
Yo, what up? Where's my frame? Where's the best place to stand?
Good front. There you go.
Here? Let me just.
I can also frame.
It's all good. It's all good. I've got time. I got some time. Not too much time, but some time. What's up? Peace. How's everyone doing? Yeah? Does anyone, before we start, does anyone have anything they want to get off their chest but they don't actually want to go on stage? Does anyone have anyone they want to say but not go on stage? You can say it to me and I will repeat it. Does anyone have anything they would like to say? No? Okay, everyone that has something they want to say is going on stage. Woo! Confidence! Everyone that wants to say something has the balls to actually do it in front of people. That's great. That's great that people still have confidence left, because YOLO, I don't know, like, I want to bring that phrase back. YOLO. Because it's true. And I feel like a lot of people have forgotten YOLO. So, cool. YOLO. 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 Okay. Don't worry. I prepared for no one reacting, so this is better than nothing. Don't worry, I prepared for this possibility. It's okay, I can go solo. No stress, just join in if you want to. So let's go. YOLO. YOLO. The tears that burn but do not rise, and I in stealth or just disguise. YOLO. The tears that burn but do not rise, am I in stealth or just disguise? YOLO. Tick tock, 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 tick tock. YOLO. YOLO. Okay. Helter skelter way up high. If I jump, I may just fly. YOLO. YOLO. Helter skelter way up high. If I jump, I may just fly. YOLO. YOLO. Do you sleep soundly or are you still awake? And with covers, are you sleeping or you ever get a break? YOLO. This is really fun. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave the poetry for now and do some stand-up. That was good. That went way better than I was expecting. So yeah, I'm Jack. I don't know. I don't like labels. It's really hard. Like, I don't know, I'm something, and sometimes something, and I don't know, sometimes I get on something, and then I remember that I was that something once, and it's just like, I don't know, I'm something. Can we chill out on the labels a bit? I don't know, it's doing my head in. I'm just something, I don't care. Just call me whatever you fucking want, I don't give a shit. Life's too fucking short. So I'll finish on one last note, which is that I do struggle socially. So yeah, I do struggle socially. I did have a friend once, and they told me that they were thinking of becoming an undercover cop. And I was like, well, you've already failed. I am terrible at keeping secrets. Okay, you've been lovely. Thank you.
Give it up for Jack, everyone. That's right. I'm having an interesting time with the volume levels today. It's like somebody else is controlling them. It might be my desire to have fingers touching me. At this moment, I want to draw your attention to this beautiful cups. They're called Holy Cunt, Bombastic, and it supports an art collective that I'm a part of, the Holy Cunt Collective. If you like that, you can win this or the hot sauce in the raffle. The raffle tickets are €2 each and 3 for $5. I'll be holding them during the break. We have one more comic before the break, and today we have 2 comics online for our online audience during the break, including our fabulous host, Nico Lee over here. So next coming up, please put your hands together for Justin Small.
All right. Sunday. What's up, y'all? Feeling good?
Yeah.
Woo, that's what's up. Proper energy. Hey, I know you. Hey, how are we? Oh, I know fucking everybody in this audience. Except you and you. We'll get there. What's up, y'all? What's up, man? How are grandparents doing during lockdown? Grandparents okay? Dead? Well, goddamn. I was hoping it was gonna be a little bit lighter because my grandma's dead too. But we all got something in common though. That's what's up. You know, I mean, told you we're gonna get to know each other, right? Grandparents are dead. Nah, it's my grandma, man. She did pass away during the pandemic. Not corona, but I'm international. I got brothers that live in Asia. My family's from the United States. So we had to host this funeral on Zoom, right? We had to do a Zoom funeral so that we could all connect, you know, and it was cool. You know, shout out to technology for bringing us together, you know. That's what's up. But, you know, you good? Are we going to have another Zoom funeral real quick? Okay, okay. Oh, so she's like, you're not funny. I was surviving over here. This is survival now. Okay, good to know. Glad to. I'm just trying to read the room here, y'all. Thank you. Yeah, funeral on Zoom. Yeah. Trust me, I was there. Super funny. It's hilarious. But no, it was crazy though. Right, Zoom funeral. We saved that shit, so we got it, you know. And my family, half of us are like religious, and the other half of us aren't religious. But at the same time, we can still agree that she's resting in the cloud. Right? Thanks. Yeah, that joke lost a lot of momentum. But you guys are great audience members. Thank you. Thank you. You get me, right? That's what's up. That's what's up. But I've been traveling recently, man. Traveling during a pandemic. I like my airlines, like I like my variants. Delta. Right? That's been an interesting experience. Traveling, man. I came back from Italy recently, southern Italy. That's where I got this tan. I do, in fact, have a tan. It's hard to tell until I tell you. I have a tan, and it's here. It's right here. But no, it's interesting, man, because I have this experience my whole life being a brown dude. I don't know what it is. Doesn't matter how tan I get. Somehow, my balls always tanner than my face. I don't understand how or why. You know what I mean? Because you can't Google this shit either. You know, this is only observable in the animal kingdom. Apparently, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, for real, yo. I asked my friend, he's an expert. His name's David Attenborough.
Yeah.
He's an expert on these things. Only in the wild. There's not a lot of brown balls in here to back me up, but there's a few. There's 2 over here. Maybe 3 after that Johnson. Just joking. No, I don't really try. I don't know. I don't really feel good about the vaccine. You know what I mean? I don't feel great about it. But I am going to take the Johnson & Johnson because it sounds like it's made by 2 black dudes. And that's how my brain works. You know what I mean? It only takes 1 shot, like Michael Jordan. So, you know what I mean? That's how I make my decisions. That's how I make my decisions. But traveling, bro, traveling, balls darker than my face. That's why I don't trust technology these days, honestly. You know what I mean? I know it's confusing, but you know, does anybody here have this issue, like, you know what I mean? Like you feel like companies have too much access to your personal information?
Yes.
Yeah? All right, okay. Because I got a whole new fucking phone. I got a whole new phone, y'all. Whole new phone. I download the same apps I always download. I see all my emojis already black. Yeah, peculiar. The skin tone was perfect. Is this racism? I don't know. Is this a good user experience? Maybe. Maybe it's thoughtful. Maybe I do appreciate my emojis already black. At the same time, questions, yo. Questions. Where do you get your data? Can we trust these people? Have you seen my balls? These are legit questions we need to be asking. You know what I mean? Where do you get your fucking data? I need to clear my cache, delete my cookies, whatever. I need to do something. I need to figure this shit out. But Italy, man, I fucking love traveling, dude, because I love comparing cultures. That's one of my favorite things to do. Italians, we know they talk with our hands. Black Americans, we also talk with our hands. And it's cool. We've got the same hand signs, but they mean different things, right? So I'm in Italy. We know Italians do this. They do this for like everything, right? They do this for everything. But then when this means wow, this is like, oh, wow, right? And when this means it's delicious. It's delicious, right? Okay? In America, it's the same thing, but it's different. In America, this means, where's my fucking money? Motherfucker. Okay? That's what that means. And this means, bitch, you tripping, right? And this means I'm going to stab you in the face with a screwdriver. Because we're very particular about our murder weapons back home. Murder, we do that. Do. That should be a bumper sticker, right? Murder, we do that, right? Kind of like Nike. Just do. Okay. Anyway, yeah, man, Italy, dude. One thing I really liked about Italy was like not just the people, but like the land. The land of Italy, I thought was a very charming, very beautiful place. I'm into history. I'm into ancient history. You could see that in the land, and I was having fantasies. And listen, all my fantasies, not only am I rich, I'm also historically accurate. Okay. So I was on this mountain after a hike, and I was looking over here, and this is obviously where I put all my lemons, right? My lemon plantation. And over here is obviously where I put all of my olives. And then over here is obviously where I put my many slaves. Because who else is gonna take care of my shit, right? I know it's hard to go with, right? But historically accurate, right? I'm rich, but who's gonna take care of my shit? I'm just saying, man. Just saying. It's hard to go with, you know what I mean? Because like when we think of slavery, these times we think like, oh, the slaves look like me. With this time of period of history, probably look like him. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? But then again, I also have these like modern millennial sensibilities, so I'm not gonna treat them like shit. Obviously, they're gonna get like free muesli and coffee. You know what I mean? And then of course they're gonna have their own dedicated space, their own co-working area, right? So instead of be called we work, it's be called you work. All right, you guys, that's my time. Thank you very much. Give it up for your host. Welcome her speaking to the stage. So yeah, Liliana.
Give it up for Justin Smalls, everyone. Oh. Now, I'm going to let you all know that we are, a little tiny break right now. That's right. When you take a break, that means that you get to go outside, smoke those things that you call cigarettes, but they're not, because in this country, your cigarette is always twisted. I like my weed pure. Without tobacco. So. Second of all, please remember we have a raffle. Miss Verity Oberg is at the door. She will sell you raffle tickets. We have multiple things on there to support us: t-shirts, bags, mugs, and hot sauce. We will be turning our camera around to direct it to you online with our co-host Nico V. So I'm gonna put on the jingle, let you all exit while I change the cameras, and we keep on coming back for more live comedy, music, and poetry in 10 to 15 minutes. Tell me how the camera looks. You gotta be communicating.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. I can see myself.
Your microphone is here.
So, okay. So, hi everybody, welcome online. So this is my first time hosting the show. It's going to be fun. So thank you to Liliana for making our show. So yeah, I'm Nico. I'm from Berlin. I'm the OG Berliner. And I was born in East Berlin and raised in West Berlin. My mother's from Germany. My father is from North Macedonia. And so basically, I'm mixed race baby. So that's me. And I learned something, being German, English is my second language, and learned something new today, recently. And so I was talking with my friend Tara, and she's like, yeah, like when she's asking how am I doing, I say, it's so hot, thank God I have a ventilator at home. And she's like, Nico, what? I say, a ventilator? You know, I was like, Nico, are you in a hospital? I say, why? Why should I be in a hospital? I'm in my bed in front of a ventilator. She said, Nico, do you know what a ventilator means? I say, I don't know. Like a ventilator that has rotating blades, you know? She says, no, it's a thing that people put on when you're in ICU, so to have a breeze. Oh, that's what a ventilator is. Oh, I'm so sorry. So what is it in German? It's ventilator. In English, it's a fan. So that's the language lesson for you today. And welcome. I'm going to welcome our first guest. He's amazing. He's talented. He's my friend, Mr. El Bahrami.
Hey!
Hey, El, how you doing?
Hello, Berlin, from
Welcome
Los
to
Angeles.
From
And
LA, yes.
Yes.
I love LA. I miss LA.
All right. I'm
Oh,
doing
oh.
comedy online because somewhere, someplace, an anti-vax comic is dying on stage.
Exactly, I think so too.
Their
All right,
punchline is COVID-19.
yeah, I know.
2
I'm
weeks
double-
later, the audience gets in on the joke, and it absolutely kills.
Exactly. I just need to figure out how to. Okay.
It's okay.
I'm gonna set you up the stage, and here's L. Welcome
Okay.
to stage, L.
All right. Hey, everybody, welcome. This is my comedy comes from a place where I'm comfortable, and that's the fetal position. I wrote a book called An Encyclopedia of Horse Medicine. It's 500 pages of how to shoot a horse. I actually helped a friend of mine that went through surgery, and I was the emergency contact. So I sent the nurse a message that I hear for extra $5 you can get one of those scratch collars to give for dogs. If that's true, I would like to opt in. They texted me back that it cost $3,000 because American healthcare. Yay. Man. I was talking to my mom, and she was like, son, I learned a lot from my mistakes. I'm like, I know, you're talking to one. She was like, son, life is a lot like eating unpeeled shrimp. You go through a lot of trouble for a little piece of tail. I want to die like my grandfather. My grandfather, he died in the arms of the woman he loved. Man, my grandma was pissed. I'm half Mexican, half Iranian. People find that out. They're like, holy Shiite. Well, better Sunni than hater. I believe all Middle Eastern languages evolved from sinus issues. Yes, of course Farsi is a poetic language because everything rhymes with Please do not accuse me of being anti-Semitic. I am... My mom asked me, what are you looking for in a woman? Well, if I don't feel fear, I don't feel attraction. In fact, I like my women like I like my movies, with English subtitles and a small cult following. Actually, I like my women like I like my coffee, belonging to somebody else with my name misspelled. Yeah, I found out I do. They say you should wait for marriage before you first have sex, and I did. She was married, just not to me. Yeah. Man. I think it'd be nice if, I had a musical intro, bring it in. I mean, I love the musical intro you guys bring. And, music is powerful stuff. It doesn't just affect people, it also affects animals. Scientists did a study at MIT, and they found out that when cows listen to REM, they make more milk. Same study also said, when cows listen to R&B, they make more cows. Yeah, move it. Yeah. And folks that don't laugh at that joke are usually intolerant, lactose. Did you know that in the United States, you can pay $25 to go noodling? Yeah, you have to get a license to basically put your hand in the water to catch fish. You can do that legally. But if you have this license, you are not allowed to mess with the aquarium at the Chinese food buffet. I'm not saying anything. I'm just now banned from the Panda Garden in Van Nuys. Man, this set was brought to you by farts. Farts, it's better to give than receive. Farts, the original gaslighting. In fact, hey, honey, are you Victorian London? Because you sure do love the gaslight. At an ex-gaslit me, she told me that sex with me caused her to relapse in alcoholism. I'm sorry, my rock hard should be nobody's rock bottom. Our first date actually happened during the Women's March in Washington. We didn't march, we did the next best thing. I ate her out, didn't come. Helped maintain the fellatio ratio. She had the voice of an angel, my ex, Lucifer. All right. Friend of mine asked me, Al, do you have any pets? Well, I used to have 2 dogs, a cat, and a snake. Now it's one really big snake. Anyway, folks, it is a cold, cruel world, and comedy makes it a warmer place. And so do farts. Anyway, folks, give it back to Nico, everybody, and give it back to Liliana. You guys have been great. Thank you.
Hey, Rocket, thank you so much, Al.
Thank you.
So, are you back to wearing masks now, mandatory, or what's the story?
It's the mandatory indoor mask is back in Los Angeles County because the Delta strain is back. It's like a fraternity, Delta, Omega, Gamma. Yeah. I mean,
and the next one is Lambda already, but not Lambada, So.
Lambda.
Anyway, well, Al, so great to have you on stage, and we miss you all, and we should all fundraise for a ticket for you to come to Berlin, so I can see you live on stage.
Oh, well, it's good. I will have to go to Berlin and see you guys when things are safer.
Yes, yes, definitely. Thank you so much, mwah, mwah, and have a great evening.
Auf Wiedersehen, y'all.
Ciao. So that was our friend Al, and I have amazing next comic on stage. I saw him from last year here in Berlin, and he talked about some fun, interesting subjects. And then since I'm following him online, his content is funny and it's hilarious. He actually also wrote a book, which I found super interesting. So with further ado, I want to welcome on stage Mr. Eric. Woo! Hi, Eric.
Yeah, Nico.
Hey, Clark.
Hey, what?
How you doing?
Oh, whether it's in Barcelona or Berlin or America, just following my hopes and dreams as they die from,
Is it warm? Is it like 40 degrees in Barcelona or?
No, it's about 30 degrees. It's the most beautiful day outside that I cannot be enjoying right now because I am vaccinated and yet I still contracted COVID-19.
Oh no, but hopefully you're okay now.
No, I mean, I'm still in quarantine and this is my world now. My world is inside a little 6-inch box on my screen.
No problem at all. Anyway, Eric, the stage is yours and enjoy the show, everybody.
All right, fantastic. Thank you, Nico. Oh man, this is nothing more flattering than doing Zoom comedy while everybody else in the room is away on a smoking break. I have really made it here, folks. I did indeed contract COVID-19 despite being fully vaccinated, which goes to show you, just don't bother getting vaccinated. It doesn't do anything. It doesn't help at all. I'm just kidding. You should get vaccinated. I got vaccinated. I did get the Johnson & Johnson one. I got the poor man's vaccine, which might explain why I'm yelling to myself into a microphone in quarantine in Barcelona while millions of young, hot people are out, probably also getting COVID-19 right now outside. I have been traveling thinking that was safe. I don't come from like a very well-traveled family. My family's not very cultured. A couple years ago, I was in Southeast Asia and my mom like FaceTimed me on the phone and I happened to be around a lot of British people and she said, "Oh, Eric, where is everybody from?" And I said, "Oh, they're mostly British." And 100% true, she said to me, "Oh, how do you say hello in British?" And I could not let this ignorance persist, so I had to tell my mom how you say hello in British. And so I said, "Hello, governor, top of the morning to you, chip, chip, cheerio. God save the Queen, spot a tea. Sweep your chimney." Like a real British person says hello in the morning. I was staying at a hostel, probably where I contracted this COVID-19 thing before. So I'm really killing it in my comedy career. Oh, that was a better time before I was relegated to Zoom when I used to be able to stay in a hostel and do comedy. And I was on the top bunk, which is how you know you've really made it. There is nothing worse than being in the top bunk where you have to climb up that ladder made from like the world's thinnest metal on each rung and then get a stress fracture every time during the night when you have to get down and go to pee. And there's nothing worse than being on the top bunk than being on the bottom bunk when someone decides in the top bunk that 4 a.m. is the best time to bring that girl home from the bar and have the loudest sex possible, or perhaps the quietest sex possible. You're trying to get to sleep and it just sounds like someone's stirring a pot of wet macaroni. You're like, "No, come on, you guys. Have some class and go do it in the shower. Have some self-respect." Or in my case, masturbate in the shower. I had been staying in hostels though, and this is a true story. I was in that same trip in Thailand. I was staying in a hostel. It was called The Cabin in Chiang Mai, and I was on the bottom bunk. And this guy, Eric, my name's also Eric, who was super hot and charming. He was taller, he was handsome, he was funny, he was skinnier. I hated that guy. Every fucking woman in the world loved him. And I was trying to get to bed, and all of a sudden it sounded like he was building the top bunk above me, like he was doing some really hard labor at about 3:37 in the morning. And of course he was having sex with a woman. And I thought, well, okay, at least he got it out of his system. Except the next night, he was having sex again. Different woman. Third night, sex again, also different woman. This guy was just having so much sex with all these different women, so much so that his reputation preceded him. And if you're aware of traveling Southeast Asia, there's kind of like a backpackers trail. So a lot of the same people end up traveling north and going into neighboring countries. So as I traveled along, I noticed that I was getting a lot of attention from women, and it made like way more than normal. It didn't make any sense. And they'd come up to me and they'd say, "Hey, are you Eric?" I'd say, "Yes." And they'd say, "From Chiang Mai?" I said, "Yeah, I was in Chiang Mai." And they said, "Oh, at the cabin hostel." And I was like, "Yeah, I'm Eric from Chiang Mai at the cabin hostel." And they would sleep with me. And I realized that they thought I was the other Eric, the way hotter Eric, who all the other women were talking about as they traveled along. And so basically, I ended up getting residual pussy from other hotter Eric. So I'd like to give a little round of applause for other Eric. God bless him. I'd also, eventually I kept traveling, and then my reputation preceded me, and then I stopped getting, my pussy kind of waned. But I'd like to think that my reputation also preceded his, where he's traveling along and he can't get laid at all. And he's like, "What's wrong?" And it's because they're talking about me and not as hot Eric. His reputation, my reputation was catching up to him. I don't know. It all worked out in the end. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, I got to wrap it up. Okay. Let's just see. I was talking to my lady friends the other night, and they said that men are lucky to have women in their lives because women make men better people. And I'm sure there's women standing. I'm getting a standing ovation for this right now and at their homes and just applauding away. And I don't mean this as a slight to any of the ladies tuning in, but every shitty thing I've ever done has been for a woman. I've never slugged a guy in a bar for looking at my bro funny. I've never lied about which STDs I have so that me and my buddies can watch the Super Bowl together without a condom on. That's not a thing that happens. I don't know. Anyway, I'm a terrible human being. My name's Eric Berry. Thank you so much. Give it up to Nico and Liliana.
Bravo, Eric Berry. Hey. Hope to see you soon here in Berlin, man.
Yeah, I should wear a mask while I'm talking to you. I don't want to get you infected.
But you can't get well, I know it's a computer virus. I know that. So, it's better to be safe than sorry. So.
Yeah. Thank you so much,
buddies.
Yeah, I hope you guys are well. I'm so excited to see you. I'll be over this. I'll be cured by next week. So yeah.
That's cool. All right. Then Eric, so good to see you and wishing you lots of love and lots of health. All right.
Okay. Dankeschön and cheers.
Look after yourself.
Sunday slip. Yeah. No. We'll put a cover on it for now until we finish setting up. It says we'll be live in 5 minutes, 4 minutes. We're gonna set up and tell me how the camera looks as well. Good there with the camera. You can speak now. Right? Oh my God. You can. No, I know that. I know this. I'm saying we can test out his sound now, and I'm gonna go outside and announce that we're getting started. I'll still do an opening bit.
San Francisco Bay,
Good?
Wonderful.
I think so. Check your mic for a second, Liliana. Turn it on though.
Hello, yeah. Oh, I've been taken care of now. Thank you so much. Welcome back to Sunday Flips. That's right. We have just come back from our little in-person break where we, for the first time, have incorporated some live comedy from abroad. So we have some comedians that were at home back in the States and some that were quarantining, coming back into Berlin. Details if you got them. If not, I'm not going to mention them one more time. But remember to quarantine. How are you doing today? Fabulous. Is this your first time coming to Sunday Flips? No. Great, great. Well, we love it when we have people that come back as we are word of mouth. And where are you from?
I'm German.
Oh, fabulous. So du hast mein deutsches Set gehört?
Gehört und verstanden.
Oh, fabulous. Danke. Danke dir. Morgen ich mache wirklich deutsche Comedy und das war, ich habe probiert hier die erste 3 Minuten auf mein 7 Minuten Set, aber there was a moment where I was like, I didn't even check who spoke German here. And because we are in Berlin, we forget that we have to check in to see how many German speakers we have in the house.
Yeah.
Right? So how many German speakers? Clap if you speak German, please. Great. No wonder the two of you were just looking at me blankly as I delivered everything in German with my Colombian accent. Warum, hast du mir? Warum? We love being here at Sunday Flips, and we are happy to provide you not only with comedy, but also music, poetry, burlesque, avant-garde performances. Whoever signs up, that's what we have. This evening we have back on our stage Mr. Stephen Paul Taylor. So please put your hands together and welcome him to the stage, Stephen Paul Taylor. Sunday Flips, Sunday Flips, yeah.
Couldn't believe I drove her car. It was a Benz, so we drove real far. Past the mountains, San Francisco Bay. Golden Gate with its golden ray. Riders on the highway, we were stopping traffic, we were in the way. We were kind of dumb, we were young and dumb. Our stupid lives consisted of fun. We were young and dumb, we were young and dumb. We were young and dumb. Oh, we were young and dumb, we were young and dumb. Couldn't believe we were so in love. I wanted to give you all the stars from above. Past the mountains and the Milky Way. This golden light with its golden rays. Radios on dance, playing our favorite tunes. Fever, free fall, fever, honeymoon. Didn't wanna die, never wanna get old. I'm a storyteller and my story's not told. A kindly stranger jump-started the car. bought him shots at the local bar. I asked him why he had a face so low. He lost his love in the undertow. I fell to the ground. He said, don't shed a tear. You're young and dumb. That's so many years. Collect more sorrow and fear. That song is called Young and Dumb. This song is called Let's Drink and Drive. It's about drinking and driving. Dreams. Can't believe someone not brave. Can't believe you lost your skin. Can't believe you started to scream. Nice. I'm only asking for advice, and my advice comes with a price. I'm making money with your advice. Let's cruise around, let's drink and drive. 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 It's not possible to stop, but we'll do it anyway. Or get so drunk and drive into a ditch. Your mom's an alcoholic bitch. Let's do it, let's drink and drive. Let's do it, let's do it, let's drink and drive. I'm not asking you to stay. Let's cruise around. Let's drink and drive. 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 Dankeschön.
Give it up for Steve Stephen Paul Taylor, everyone! Yeah! This is what we're talking about. Every week we tighten it up, make the sweet spot a little better, and get our yeah, that's right, Nico. You heard me. You heard me. I said it. I said it. Now, you two fabulous gentlemen, where are you from? Where are you from?
Yes,
Israel, Berlin. Why'd you say that like it was interchangeable? Like Israel or Berlin, whatever.
I just moved and he's here for many years.
All right. Are you enjoying it? Yeah? You still have the tan and the whole, like, suaveness that Israelis have. That aggressive suaveness. I was in New York City one day, and a pair of two people, male and female, from my opinion at the time, came up to me. Yeah, I don't really know, but they came up to me. I had really long hair back then, and I was wearing a jumper, like a flight pilot. I looked kind of military-esque. My hair's long, my hair's very curly. I have what Jewish people consider a Jewish curl. So they came up to me and they're like, "Hey, can you watch my bag?" And I was like, "What? I'm in New York City. You don't watch nobody's bag." Like, And they were like, "You're Israeli." I was like, "No." And they're like, "Oh." They talk on their own and they're like, "Where are you from?" I was like, "Colombia." They're like, "Can you watch my bag?" I was like, "Hell no!" Hell no. Watch your bag. Your port authority. I'm not gonna get in trouble. We got enough problems. I love being an immigrant. I do. I love being an immigrant because I've made it very clear that I'm not an expat. No, I am not an expat. I will learn the language of the country I go to. Expats do not learn the language of the country they go to. Right? So I'm not an expat. I could easily become a political asylum seeker with everything that's happening in Colombia. And so as Colombia, we are still having problems. Check it out. Please support if you believe in equality around the world, not just in your favorite unhealthy spot. And I'm definitely not a refugee because in the end, I got here because a white man brought me over because he fell in love with me. Yay, love. I did move here to date a German, as I said earlier. It's been exciting. I very quickly understood how Germans flirt. Germans have a different technique in flirting. Like Latinos were like, "Hola, trabajas, estudias." Germans are like, that's German foreplay for you. I also very quickly understood, not very quickly actually, I've been here for 8 years, and only last year I understood that when a German says "also" at the end of a sentence, he's basically saying the conversation is over. I will now ignore you while I still look at you. I was on the plane on my way back from Spain last week, and I was sitting across a German guy. I said, "Yo, I like your tattoos. Where are they from?" He said, "Oh, a Colombian guy made my tattoos." I was like, "Well, I'm Colombian, blah, 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 blah." We talked for like 2 minutes, and then he went, "so." Man, he shut that. I was like, "I teach self-defense. I'm going to teach women when they're walking down the street to be like, so." Self-defense, man. That was a wall, an electric wall. It was amazing. This next performer coming down also knows that culture around the world will adapt to you, or you adapt to them, or you make the changes that need to be made to influence people you want. And that's why we love him so much here. He's a big part of the Sunday Six family. Put your hands together, please, for Dio Coutinho.
All right, Sunday Six, make some motherfucking noise. Come on, sexy people, let's hear it. Feels so nice. Almost made me pee myself. It's cool. We see a lot of people, a lot of family in the house. Now I got to know my other new mans. I heard you got a good set. Big ups to you, big dog. That's fucking nice. We got Nico controlling the cyberspace. Give it up for Nico. Hell yeah. Bro, you look wonderful, man. Look at that, Jack. You look like you're straight from Vice City out here. flexing the colors. That's very nice, man. Give it up for my peoples right there. They gave me to inhale from their wonderful situation. And now it feels, now I'm high. Now I'm high. And I'm happy and it feels good, you know? So give it up for them real quick one time. Thank you for being here, people. Shit. It's cool being here, man. I tried quitting weed 3 times this week. 3 times this week. But you know what they say, every good thing comes in 3, you know. So after the 3rd joint today, I'm gonna stop, I promise. Until tomorrow. And then the cycle continues. It's crazy. I've been in Berlin for 4 years now, and for 4 years I have been couch surfing Berlin.
Oh no.
Bro, you know how many weird experiences I've had? Shit makes no sense. This one guy didn't clean anything, bro. I went in his kitchen and I was like, do you mind if I clean it up? And he's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So as I was cleaning the kitchen, there's like piles of dishes. And then underneath one of them, there's like 3 layers of dishes, right? And underneath the last one, there was an iPhone submerged in grease, right? just like, if you can't see it, I just saw a square and I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, it's an iPhone. Shit, I need a phone. This is nice. You know? Fucking washed it up. I was like, can I keep it? And he's like, oh, I lost that like 4 years ago.
What the fuck?
4 years ago, dude? Shit. Fucking shit is wild. I posted on Instagram that I'm still searching for an apartment, right? And some friends tried to help me out. And this guy was like, yeah, my girlfriend just left her apartment. It's like 860 euros. And I'm like, wait. I don't know what kind of apartment you think I'm searching for, dude. 860 euros? I don't have white lady money, you know? It just doesn't work like that, man. His girlfriend is, you know, a little white lady, little white girl. And, you know, their parents give her money. And I told him, like, dude, I don't get parents from my money. I give money to my parents, you know? It doesn't work that way, dude. Fucking crazy. But I respected him, because you know what? He helped. He tried to help, which is nice, which is fucking nice. Started painting my nails too. What do you guys think? Ooh, is it too much? Is it okay? Is it a bit much? I don't know. I started painting my nails because my girlfriend doesn't do any girly shit at home, like literally nothing. She doesn't do no makeup, no, and that's why I love her, right? But at the same time, somebody has to wear the nail polish in this relationship. You know, so I decided to be that person. But it's kind of hard to be both genders in a relationship, you know? Because yesterday I had a fight with myself for not cleaning the dishes. It was weird, man. And afterwards I ended up washing the dishes, but I didn't talk to myself at all. So, give myself the cold shoulder. It's wild. It's just fun. Man. Have you ever been insulted by somebody that you never even had an interaction with? No? So that happened to me recently in the supermarket, man. I was like, got all a couple things, you know, basket is full. I'm like, yeah, I'm doing something well with my life because I have like Cheerios and fucking chips, you know. So both things is nice to have. And it was like a super long line, but at one point, boom, a new casa opens, and everybody started sprinting towards it, as you do, you know. And I bumped this old lady, she fell on the ground, but at the same time, I was like, hey, lady, you gotta work on your hip action. I'm not here to protect you, I gotta get first to that casa, you know, I can't be standing here too long. It's just crazy. And I finished second, which is kind of a bummer, you know. But at the same time, I think the casa is the only place that you can finish second and still feel like you're winning, you know. Yes. Short my supermarket trip. This is cool. This is nice. Next to me, the guy that was front in line, right? He looked back at me fucking sweating on the fucking line, and he saw what I got, and I saw that he has the same 2 items as me, right? He has also 2 items that I had. And he looked at both of them and then abandoned his position in the casa. I was like, what? Why would you abandon the first fucking position at the casa? This is crazy, right? And he came back, and I saw that in his basket, the only 2 items that were missing were the ones that were matching to mine. You know? And instantly I felt like that guy broke up with me. You know? Like I'm gonna break up with this joke, god damn it. I was like, I'm gonna stay strong through this bit, I'm gonna get to the end. Maybe I'll get a laugh. No, I didn't. That's how you know what to cut off from new bits, you know. Just, this is not gonna work, it's all good. I'm leaving it. It's cool. Shit, man. I work at a testing station, which is nice. Woo! No worry. It's all good. All I do is like stand on the freaking tablet and like check people in. You know, I just ask people for their 5-digit number, and a name pops up, and then I ask the name, and then they always answer yes. And that's all I do the whole day, right? It's just super boring because sometimes there's like 800 people, and you're like, I don't want to do this anymore. And I was bummed out on one day. I was like, fuck, this is annoying. There's so many people. They're all super annoying. And then I see police shows up. And I'm like, oh, this is my day. All right, fucking very nice. Because now I have the power. I'm going to torture the shit out of these people, right? I just need to ask for a booking number, but I'm like, I will make this a living hell for these people, right? So this guy pulls up and has no mask. I'm like, yes. Moscow Zetson. Right? Fucking super angry. The guy puts on the mask, starts stressing out. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot the mask, right? And I think that at a point in your life, if a policeman apologizes to you, you've won, right? That's it. So I was like, I win today, and I'm happy already. And that was my time, so give it up for Liliana one more time!
Give it up for Gia Patuna! Yeah! Oh, we are family. Yeah. Did you get it already? You know the jingle? How's it go? Sing it for me. No. That's a good no. That's a good no. It's like not aggressive, very laid back, but assertive, you know? It's like, no. You're lucky I'm sitting here. Let's move it right along. This next performer, it is their first time doing Sunday Slips. That is right. They've been performing comedy during the lockdown here and there as we've all continued to try to entertain ourselves, others, and keep our creative craft tight. It is a practice. Those of you who don't realize it, you think that we're just improvising up here. We are working out and tightening up and cleaning things up. Now, I have no idea what I'm in for. I have no idea what you're in for because I've never seen them before. So please put your hands together for Carl Reed.
It's good to be here. My name is Carl. All you need to know about me is I'm half Mexican. Yes, because I clearly look and speak like a hombre. It's true though. My mum, she's brown and everything. Swam across the Atlantic, living in the UK legally, the real deal. But it meant at school, right? I got bullied, racially abused for being half Mexican. Because they called me names. They called me shit like fajita, tortilla, burrito, being in the playground playing football at lunch. But whenever I got the ball, which was not very often, whenever I did, some twat would always shout from the other side of the playground, something like, "Oi, Payala!" I mean, not even Mexican. Oi, Payala! Pass the ball, you knobhead! Right? And at first I never knew how to react. What I learned over time is, you just gotta throw it back at them. So I just go, fuck off chicken curry, and run the other way. Now, before you slag me off for being racist, I'd just like to point out, he was white too. I just did the same thing he did. Shout out a dish from a country he didn't come from. Two can play that game. But I didn't only get cool names at school, also got cool names at home. My mum called me Mexican names like Necio, Pendejo, Chamaco, Cabron, Squincle, Chingado, Puto. Now, I don't speak Spanish, but I don't think those were compliments, you know? I don't think those were terms of endearment, you get me? Like, but the reason she called me those things is, like, she wants the best for me. Like, she has high expectations, and at school I was academically quite good. But if there was ever a subject I was struggling with, like, you know, I'd come back from school, you know, after a long, tiring day, before I'd even have my foot in the house, my mum was already storming towards me, screaming, "Chamaco cabrón puto! You got a B+ in PE! Physical education! I showed you physical education! I'm going to get my belt! You're going to run away from it as fast as you can! Ándale, cabrón! Ándale! Okay! say next time, A-star. Can't say it didn't work. Unconventional, but effective. But, you know, on the topic of sports, right, like, during lockdown, I've tried to keep fit, try to stay active. I've been trying to bulk up, actually. Used to be underweight, now I'm healthy weight, no applause. No, fair enough. But you know, if I'd come out and said, "Oh, I've been trying to lose weight," you'd be like, "Fucking well done, mate. Good on you." Bigots. No. I've been doing a lot of sport, like a lot of socially distanced sports, like tennis, golf, even tried out baseball the other day. To be fair, I've been playing a lot of Wii Sports. You can't deny it's a quality game, just pure physical exercise. I mean, you see me at the boxing game, I'm like fucking Muhammad Ali on the Wii. You want to know my secret for being so good? Yeah, I'll share it with you guys. Basically, what we want to do is, first of all, get in the proper boxing position like that. Right? Make sure you've got plenty of room between your sofa and your coffee table. Get quite heated. Now, as soon as the game begins, what you want to do is just go batshit crazy. Just moving your arms as hard and fast as you possibly can. Just moving your arms to what your Wii motion says is like, fucking release that. Granted, it's a move that in real life boxing rarely crops up. But on the Wii, expert move. Sometimes I can get carried away though. Sometimes it can really bring out worse in me. Like just the other day, I was at my parents' house playing the Wii on my own, like a champion, like a virgin, playing the boxing game against the computer. When I was matched up with a female opponent, so I was about to fight a female character in the game. Now I don't know about you guys, but I'm not a very big fan of hitting women. I got better than that. No, I just thought better. I just thought, Carl, it's just a stupid game. I'm not going to let this influence my respect and attitude towards women. Fast forward 10 seconds later, and I'm screaming at my telly going, "Die, bitch! You're going down, you fucking whore!" Right, in my defense though, I won, so fully justified. Guys, you've been lovely. Thank you. Good night.
First time Sunday just do that. He hit me with a surprise half Latino. What? Man, when I first got to Berlin, everybody liked to call me exotic. I found cute. And I was like, oh, what? An exotic? Huh. Thank you, colonizer. You are also cute. Oh. The interesting part about being called exotic is that because Germans do speak a lot of languages, which is a wonderful bonus, they think they know your language, and so they speak to you in Spanish. And I'm like, that's great. I'm in Berlin. I would like to practice German. And they're like, yeah, nein. Yo quiero practicar mi español. I'm like, okay. Where were you born? ¿Dónde naciste? Oh, this stupid mom. And I'm like, you don't know it. It's a small pueblo. It's in the north. They're like, yeah, I've traveled through all of South America. I'm like, I bet you have. You don't know where I'm born. They're like, no, I do. Where is it? I'm like, Weehawken, New Jersey. I told you. New Jersey, Miami, Medellin, same city. Trust me. Moving it right along, this evening is in need of strong voices like this one. We're happy she's hitting the stage again. It's been a while. She's traveled through the pandemic, made it through the border more than once. That's right. Taking the risk, doing it right, getting the fuck out of town and coming back. Put your hands together, please, for Angela!
Hello. There we go. Can't be too careful when you travel across borders, you know what I mean? Gotta always have an exit plan. I have no punchline for that, but it's good to have one. My name is Angela Scrivani. I'm from Oakland, California, which is in the San Francisco Bay Area. That's where stereotypes go to die and get rebirthed as social justice movements, which eventually become nonprofits to save the world. So sometimes I get a little impatient or confused about the current social justice movement. I feel like we've done this before. However, I want to give credit. We know who they are now. You know how you're always like, they say you should drink 8 glasses of water a day. You're like, who the fuck are they? We know, the gender non-specific community. This whole fucking time. Can you believe that? I'm so glad they're out of the closet. They also say you should chew your food 32 times before you swallow it. You ever tried that shit? Fucking difficult. But they know. They know things. I recently went back to the San Francisco Bay Area to visit my family, and they asked me, what are some of the stereotypes that Germans have about Americans? And I said, they think we're overly confident. Whatever. They think we're overly friendly, a little arrogant, and to this I say Germans need to smile more. It's not true. My family did not ask me anything about what Germans think of them. They're American. They don't give a fuck. And they're also Italian. So they're double arrogant. Italians that immigrated to the United States about 100 years ago, and since then have been making everything from scratch. They made their businesses from scratch, their clothes, they even made me from scratch. Amazing. They worked so hard that I got to have a comfortable middle-class life. Amazing, right? Until we just found out the only reason was because I'm white. It's a good thing that my grandmother is now dead. She'd be very disappointed in all the hard work that she put in to just find out that she was white. She's very proud of She was very proud of how hard she worked. She was a equal opportunity racist. I swear to God, she fucking hated everybody. She's Italian. Hated everybody. I'm pretty sure she hated me as well. But she had a lot of respect for people that worked hard. She used to say, you know, the Chinese, they're all right. They're right. They work really hard. I mean, I know there's more than Chinese, but I just call them all Chinese. I know, it's horrible, but she's dead now, and that's how we get rid of racism. The only way. It's true, though, my family did make everything from scratch, and I always found this very fascinating when we would go to family functions, and an aunt would ask another aunt, who brought this pie? My aunt would be like, oh, I brought it, I made it from scratch. Like, okay, what the fuck is scratch? You make fucking everything from scratch. Pasta sauce, you could make pies, obviously, you can make salads from scratch. Everything. So one day at the grocery store, fascinated with this item that I was pretty sure would allow me to run away from home and start my new life. I said to my father, I was about this big, hey Dad, where's the scratch? And he looked down at me like a normal father would and said, what? I said, the scratch, Dad. Your aunts are always saying, I made it from scratch, and I just want to know, where is the scratch? And he goes, oh, right. And he explained to me what scratch was. I'm not really sure what he said, but I'm pretty sure he destroyed my life because I'm now on stages in Berlin talking to 10 people. Thank you very much. That's my time over here in Nigeria.
Yeah, give it for Angela. That's right, Angela Scrivani. Back on the stage here at Sunday's Live. Yeah. Welcome back. We missed you.
Thank you.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it moving right along because we got 2 more fabulous performers for this evening, and then we're gonna call it a night. And we still have a raffle. If you haven't bought a raffle ticket, it's €2 per raffle ticket. You can win a Holy Cunt Volvastic mug supporting my art collective, Holy Cunt Art Collective. You can win a tiny pillow. One of a kind made by Winston Kelly Stevenson. Or you can win 3 delicious, fabulous hot sauces from Crazy Bastard Sauce. So don't forget to get your raffle tickets, and we are so happy to have our next performer on stage. Sometimes he's a poet, sometimes he's a comic, sometimes he's more. Put your hands together, please, for Ian and Bella.
I thought I'd, sorry. How do I, okay. So I'd just like to say, I'm black.
Yeah.
Like, you've seen some black people on the stage tonight, but none of them are from Africa, okay? Africa. I'm gonna shit on them now. Because that's the only other way to go. Like, after you say something like that, yeah, it's like, yeah, these guys are not from Africa.
Well, I'm not black.
Okay, sorry, am I on the internet yet?
Yes.
Okay, I wasn't told about this. I'm not supposed to be funny. Shit. Okay, right. So I'm from Africa, right? And you know, being African is pretty weird, you know, because you leave Africa, you go up the Congo, and then you end up in the Sahara Desert, and then you sort of like evade a whole lot of Libyans because they're trying to enslave you, and then you get on the Dingy and you go across the Mediterranean Sea, and you get to Italy, and then the racism starts. Yeah. So I was watching the European football tournament, right? And I ended up in England, which is the country that was playing against Italy, right? And I kind of like felt weird because I didn't really know who to support, because my impression of Italy and England is, well, for lack of a better word, they're racist countries. Yeah. No, I'm not serious, guys. Come on, Jesus. I'm not gonna stereotype the whole country, right? But yeah. I remember the first time I met Italians, and they were like, hello. No, they didn't say hello, sorry. They said a lot of that, which I liked. And then, yeah, they kind of told me about their culture, and they fed me, and then they started being racist. You know, it's sort of, it's weird because it's bittersweet because these people are really caring, but then they start speaking, and then you're kind of like, how am I supposed to feel about this? It's the same in England. I spent 7 years in England, and English people are lovely, just lovely, until you give them a beer and put them in a group. Then it's fucking, what the fuck am I in right now? Because I might die here, but, you know. Anyway, I love Europe. I love Europe because I've lived in Europe for 15 years or something. And my favorite people in Europe are Polish women. Because the first woman I had sex with in Europe was Polish. And she... And it was weird because she kind of like came over to me and she was like, hey, how are you doing? I was like, I'm great. And she was like, hey, I've been to South Africa, because I obviously told her that I'm South African. And she was like, I've been to South Africa. I loved it. You guys have elephants and stuff. And I was like, yeah, we do. And she was like, so I've got a boyfriend. And I was like, great. And then she was like, would you like to come home with me? And I was like, okay. I mean, I don't know. Isn't your boyfriend gonna be upset that you're bringing a guy over? Because, oh no, we're going through some stuff. So yeah, this was my experience of Polish women and one Polish woman. Yeah, I'm still working on this, guys. I'm sorry. So yeah, this was my experience of one Polish woman. But then when I was in London, I lived in a part of London called Bermondsey. I used to say Bermondsey, but then an English person thought that they would correct me in saying this, so it's Bermondsey now. And then I met this Austrian woman, and she was like, I'm not into you, but I've never really had sex with a black guy. So let's give it a shot, and if it works out, we can have more sex, but I don't want to be with you. And I was kind of like, I'm into it. Like, because I was, and I was into her as well, and I was in her. Okay. All right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I love it. This has been a fabulous night. Thank you all for being here. We have one final performance this evening, and it's one of my favorite performances. I'm going to entertain you just a little bit while he sets up behind me. But I'm a little bit kinky. How many people in this room are a little bit kinky? Yeah. Nice. What's your safe word? Why? Did I get pastrami? That works. That's definitely a stop sign. Yeah, mine is arugula. Together, we can make a sandwich. All we need is 2 buns. Yeah, I always grew up watching musicals. I was one of those girls that wanted to be a triple threat growing up. I wanted to be a singer, dancer, actress. And The Sound of Music was one of my favorite musicals because I grew up with nuns and I dated older men who ended up wanting to do things to me that I didn't approve of. So I felt like that was a musical that spoke to me. You know, like, I'm the nanny, now I'm your wife. Okay. So I always really related to this musical, but the song that I liked the most was My Favorite Things. Do you know it? Yeah. And I changed it a little bit. My voice is not the best, but I'm going to still give it to you because I don't care. And I do care, but I don't care, but I do care. But I changed the song a little bit to be For Why? Because yes, my favorite is king. You know what I'm talking about? For why? Because yes, my favorite is king. Yes? Can you sing that with me?
Yes.
For why? Because yes, my favorite is king. One more time. For why? Because yes, my favorite is king. Raindrops on latex and whiskey on fittings, light as linen stretches and blah 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 mittens. Hot and ball packages tied up with string. For why? Because yes, my favorite is king. Green colored snail trails in hot scented wax. You know what I'm talking about. Chastity belt bells and your privates inside. Wild beasts that hang with their ankles up high. For why? Because yes, my favorite is king. Drag queens in white dresses with big fake eyelashes. Slave boys and fairies, all 4 on their asses. Cross-dressing force-fed with dildos inside. For why? Because yes, my favorite is king. When the dawn speaks, when the whip strikes, when you're feeling down. Just simply remember that you're serving me, and then you will pay much more. Do you remember your safe word? Safe, sane, consensual. Keep it real. Keep it real. I want to remind you all that these beautiful, amazing, one-of-a-kind bags are designed by this super talented artist that I have setting up right now. He is my co-producer, my friend, and one of the reasons why our show has become the magical space that it is. We bring the comedy, he brings the music, and all of you bring the talent, the love, the familiarity, and the consistency of showing up every fucking Sunday. No matter what. That's right. So if you believe in aliens, support us. We are here. We are here. At this moment, I want to also give a great big thank you to the bartenders this evening at Zoom Crocodile Bar. I want to remember to tip them out. They're making delicious drinks. I don't know if you've had the gin basil. It's fucking wonderful. So good. I want to thank Nico for doing the dashboard and running our online mic in Los Angeles and back in the States. Ms. V at the door for handling everything else and all of the partners. And those of you in the audience have been beautiful. You've been beautiful. I hope that you get as inspired as I am by our next performer. Let me know when you got your pick. Oh, you want this one? Oh, I'm sorry. Are you waiting for something? At this moment, I'd like you all to sing with me. Sunday, Sunday slips. Sunday, Sunday slips. Yeah. 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 That's how we do it. Give it up for Wednesday, Kelly Stevenson!
Hi guys. This is a sound check or something like a sound check. I'm trying to EQ my sound. The sound is horrible. I'll fix something. I'll fix. There it goes. I love bass. That's good. That's good. Hi guys. Welcome to Sunday Slips, and thank you for staying. For all the wonderful comedians and poetry and stuff that was going before. I was outside and I heard it through the window and still sound checking. And you still out there? You making some noise for yourselves? This song is called Breathe. Hopefully you do it. And yeah. You ready for it?
Yes.
No, that doesn't work. Check, 1, 2, 1, 2. Doesn't work. Leave it alone. We make it work. Yeah, it works. Okay, that was a good sound check. Now everything works. That's the one. That's the first one. Thank you very much. My sound is funny, but luckily I know what I'm doing over here. Ding, ding, ding. Like a shaved rabbit. Let's see. This song that goes out to my dear old dad. It's a song that they're playing a lot, and it goes, "Don't you hear me calling to ya?" Don't you hear me calling to ya? Don't you hear me calling to ya, baby? Don't you hear me calling to ya? And for my next magic trick, I'm gonna play my last song. You guys don't make sure you guys tip your bartenders, take care of yourselves, get the mask, get masked. I don't know what but do something with yourself and wash your hands. Do something. Exactly. So this last song goes out to you and you and you, not you, you and you and you. I specifically name you and you and you, and hopefully you like it.
Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Woo! I think you just slayed that. How do you feel about Winston Kelly Stevens?
I love it.
We hope that you at home are also enjoying what we brought to you today. This is the end of our show for the online people. We're going to sign off and leave the stream. Thank you so much for joining us. We're here every Sunday, no matter what. And now we're offering you a spot during the break. So send us a message. It's freudiansplitclub@gmail.com. And peace. That's right.
Peace.
Yeah, for those of you who are here.